Discipline in education is a significant situation and a big problem. Today in schools, there's lacking of discipline, and there's no way you could control your classrooms. And I think that there's a relationship to the sort of impeachment of capital punishment. Now, you have 13-year-olds telling you they're going to do what they want. You say this is what you need to do, and they're telling you what they're going to do. And you have to negotiate to them and so on. Same thing people, parents try at home, and so on. In the third world, students, capital punishment is legal, but not every child gets spanked, because as long as they start doing the right thing, you don't get spanked. It's not to say they come looking for you to spank you. You do what needs to be done. There's no spanking. Okay. And as I've said before, that spanking has a very therapeutic psychological effect. You find criminals that do significant things, murder and robbery and all that, they're so guilt-ridden that many times they just are glad to be caught and to be dealt, even sometimes execution, and they feel like, okay, I'm paying for what I've done. And I'm bringing it over with when children are doing some things that are so extraordinary in their minds and in their guilt sort of a repertoire, that they end up with all these problems, and they have to go to drugs and a variety of things to ameliorate and to compensate for the guilt that they feel. But a little spanking would have removed that guilt, and they would have cried, perhaps see bruises and whatever, resolve not to do it again, and then of course it's a forgiveness and a start over again. But there are several other things that I think, in spite of capital punishment being abolished, that we could work, and I think this is what this whole presentation is going to be about. I think that in elementary school, it should be just about knowledge. They're trying to gain knowledge and start in cursive writing. So when they're ready to go into middle school, they're doing cursive writing, and they're also going to be told in the beginning that this is not elementary school. You're more mature than elementary school age, and we expect that you're going to be able to do these things. Come to school on time every day, in the uniform. If the parents don't have money and it's not wash time and you run out, you could wash your uniform every day to make sure you have something to come to school. And it is heartrending to see what kids do. They throw things around, and all you can do is just kind of send them to the principal office, call the parents, have a conference with them, and all these, take away the toys. You will have less lunch time, and you will have less playtime, and all these games to play with these students. But short of capital punishment, what I think they could do here, they could make a sort of a, in other words, indiscipline could affect your grades. So you can't having a whole bunch of trips to the principal's office. You can't be cursing in the class, smoking, drinking, not wearing the right uniform, and write the other infractions and still end up having a 4.0. Because I was a teacher at the school once, and this class, the students were behaving in such a way that I'm hoping that they're going to catch on and we're going to have some progress. But they're giving me a whole bunch of problems. And guess what? One day they called out the honor students, and I saw on the wall the honor roll, and I saw many of the students who were in my class are on the honor roll, because I hadn't gone to that school very long, so I didn't know what was going on. They're on the honor roll. So I said, you know what we need to do? We need to combine for the grade citizenship and scholarship should affect how a student goes out there. There's some things that students do that they should go to jail and still be dropped off by the police or the sheriff to come to school in the mornings. They're wearing the uniform, everything, ankle bracing, maybe a short so the ankle brace could be seen, and go to school and do the work, and have homework to do when they go back to jail, and get them a real discipline. Or get up early in the morning, more studies and so on. And perhaps it's going to change something. Students will see this behavior, got this guy in jail, but he still got to come back to school and face his peers and so on. If you run away, more problems. Okay? So going to the principal's office basically should be a certain amount of points. Maybe every person starts off with citizenship and A. Every curse, you lose a point. Tardy, you lose a point. You have to go to the principal's office. Some of these are going to have weightier matters in which you're going to lose more points in. That depends on why. Well, there are going to be infractions that would make you go to the principal's office. so that is high level, maybe 5 points every time you go to the principal's office. And also it minuses. So whereas it would be 100 points and you get an F, if you continue doing more, it goes more and it takes away from the other grades that were there. All right. So I think that if they're serious, well, some students might just give up and say, man, it doesn't matter, I'm not gonna work with it, but if you have people coming in and say that in education is important, drug users, prostitutes, all these people coming in and say, I have to get this education because it's not working, then they'll see that to get an education is really worth it. Grades are important, and also citizenship are going to affect your grades, therefore try to be a model student. In fact, what I even think that some of these guys who in that class were misbehaving, they should be told, listen, now you're on honor roll, okay, welcome. When you're on the honor roll, you're going to be a teacher's assistant. When a substitute comes to your school, you're to greet the substitute and say, look, I'm glad that you came. Anything that you need, I'm here to help you. Help them set up the class and do the whole 9 yards. And to be honest, you're going to lie and say, oh, we did that already. You're going to be very honest. Getting along with others, trying to help others. The clique at the end that is kind of disruptive, tell them, listen, bro, tell a student, man, we shouldn't be behaving like this, man. Encourage them to study, encourage them to do well. All right. And so I think a move like this is going to make a big difference, because you might have had 4 A's, which hardly likely if a guy is very disruptive. He also might be, and it's not because you have a poor family or hungry or got money or whatever. That has nothing to do with it. Okay, in America they get free lunch. You can get stuff at the drop-in center, at the food bank, whatever. All right. So citizenship should be so important, and some things that they do should be going on with them on the paperwork, so that the school will see this guy has been having a lot of problems. So I mean, I know a guy, he hasn't been doing nothing at all, and he's going to go to high school and he's going to keep doing nothing, it seems, and they can graduate and give him a high school diploma. So I don't know how the employers will know that this guy basically doesn't have a foundation. Or you might get smart and say, I have high school diploma, let me go to college. Well, what are you going to do in college? Because he studied nothing in school. All right. So it's very important to, have discipline in schools. Students need to study the work, don't disrupt others, and get along with the teachers, respect others. I mean, they'll be cussing, straight up cussing, the teacher cussing another student and all this kind of thing. And you wonder if they're not doing drugs, because marijuana or whatever they're using will be affecting the mind. That is the will, the intellect, the emotions, and the conscience. So emotionally, they're very fragile. Oh, I have to have my phone. Can I listen to my phone? I'm gonna do my work. It's dependent on that phone for some reason. And I don't care what family thing. It's not family. The home is not great and whatever. Hey, you an adult, you gotta be able to say, hey, this is not the case there. I need to learn what I need to do to be adjusted, because you're not going to be perpetuating the same thing that you've grown up in. I mean, I grew up in abject poverty, and many of them guys were sentenced to poverty because they had a whole 10 girls each having a baby for them, and it's over. I made sure that I didn't do that. I had my first child at 27. I had my college education, a phase of it finished. I was married and so on. So I definitely believe that we could have better behaved kids, better scholarship, more discipline in schools, but we just have to make it work. Sometimes they do some stuff, the police will come and arrest them, take them down. Parents also have to be on board with this. Parents have to support the school, because I so love my child. I can't see my child come home with a black and blue mark because the teacher spanked them. I tried that at home. I told my parents, look what the teacher did. They say, well, if you did what was right, you wouldn't have had a problem. Then they say, let us get our attorney, let us get some money. I mean, I don't think the court is going to take it on serious. I don't think the police is going to prosecute. I don't think it's going to go anywhere anyway, because this is the understanding the society has, that this is important to get kids to fall in line. And having kids that dictate education, dictate things, not going to be a poor society, because I think that's what happened in Greece. Greece had this classic education where it was all about the kids. We don't want to do that, we want to do this. What kids going to want to do is just have candy and ice cream and soda. Okay, but you as an adult know that they need these things because it's important in the world of work. It's important in being breadwinners in homes and in families. It's important for so many different things. And some students might genuinely think, oh, this thing is going to kill me. But it never kills your parents. It's not going to kill you. You just get to the program. And after a while, when they get this discipline and everything else, life would be so special for them because they're going to avoid a whole bunch of other problems. And society is going to grow and grow and grow and grow. Societies decline because of things that creep in. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm telling you that there's some people who are plotting to bring the world down, and they come up with a bunch of stuff that's sounding so philosophical. But its real intention is to come in and create a wedge between students and their education and success and so on. So discipline is becoming a serious problem, and we need to, fashion a good strategy that will ensure that classrooms and schools are orderly and everything is good.